Here's your wrestling news for May 22nd, 2021. And your headlines for today include: main event for Hell in a Cell is revealed. Multiple shocking reasons for Velveteen Dream's WWE release is revealed. Kelley opens up about her relationship with Velveteen Dream. John Cena's WWE return date is confirmed. WWE NXT superstars refuse to let Wuertz referee their matches. WWE's major plan for Aleister Black. Details of his next 2 opponents are revealed. Moose teases WWE NXT run, crashing the AEW Double or Nothing main event. WWE made 7 figures off Army of the Dead zombie invasion at WrestleMania Backlash, and more. We're kicking off today with SmackDown, which saw an appearance from Universal Champion Roman Reigns looking especially detestable in his tracksuit, as the Tribal Chief continues to make himself more dislikable each week. It speaks volumes as to how good Reigns is, and with crowds returning in less than 2 months, Reigns will need to continue his heel game before fans inevitably cheer for him. Before fans return, WWE has Hell in a Cell, and though it was expected that the show would see Reigns face Jimmy Uso, this week's SmackDown revealed that plans had changed. During a Paul Heyman promo, Cesaro interfered, demanding a rematch against the Tribal Chief at Hell in a Cell before he was attacked from behind by a psychotic Seth Rollins. Rollins continued to attack Cesaro, seemingly unsure why he was doing so, as the Swiss cyborg was being stretchered out. With Cesaro wanting a rematch against Reigns and Rollins not done with Cesaro, it's clear that the 3 will collide at Hell in a Cell instead of Reigns versus Jimmy Uso. If so, we're slightly surprised that WWE is making Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins cross paths this early into Rollins' run on SmackDown, and fans can expect an exceptional triple threat next month, presumably inside Hell in a Cell. Earlier this week, WWE released controversial star Velveteen Dream from the company, but it wasn't the claims of sexual misconduct that got him fired. Though they no doubt didn't help matters, nor did the consistent #FireVelveteenDream hashtag whenever he appeared, Dream was reportedly fired for behavioral issues, according to Brian Alvarez, who spoke on Wrestling Observer Live. There had been talks about behavioral issues with Dream for some time in NXT, as the former North American champion was reportedly authoritative and a control freak, always wanting matches that he was in to be presented the way he visualized. What made this worse was that Dream had friends very high up in WWE, which led to some superstars feeling uncomfortable going to management about his behavior, fearing for their own careers. Dream was also difficult to work with when he represented WWE outside the company, including competing at Evolve 113 in September 2018 and later Evolves 123 and 124 in March 2019. Now Dream will have to forge his own path outside WWE, though we imagine the claims against him will make this difficult for the 25-year-old wrestler. Before he was released, there was a long-standing rumor that Dream was dating Kelley, which was never confirmed by either person. It seems these rumors haven't died down, as on Twitter, Kelley asked fans not to associate her with someone she never spoke to outside of work. Kelley didn't mention Dream by name, but it was obvious who she was referring to, as the former WWE broadcaster has made it clear she wants no part of the former NXT North American champion. Now, after months of rumors and speculation, WWE have confirmed a return to the road. Yesterday, Fox Sports were the first to break the news that WWE will be running a 25-city tour that'll run through Labor Day, starting with the July 16th SmackDown at the Toyota Center in Houston. This will be the go-home show before WWE Money in the Bank, which has also been confirmed will happen with live fans at the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. The Raw after Money in the Bank will be from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, with the remaining dates to be announced later on. On Twitter, WWE's new director of live events, Adam Pearce, said the company is scouting locations now and asked the fans where they'd want WWE to go next. Tickets for these first 3 shows will be going on sale this Wednesday, May 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we'll have to see what comes next in WWE's plans to leave the Thunderdome behind. Earlier this week, controversial NXT referee Wuertz was released from the company, and since then, there's been plenty of horror stories about his behavior in the company. A staunch advocate against vaccines and masks, Wuertz's attitude got him in hot water backstage, and according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, several talents refused to have him referee their matches. They noted, He was in the news when they were putting together new rings, and he and others didn't wear masks, and there was an outbreak a few days later in NXT that impacted a lot of segments on TV the next 2 weeks. Vaccines weren't the only issue that Wuertz had a problem with, as during a speech made last year by Triple H, the referee, a self-professed extremist of Christ, stormed out when the game specifically mentioned being respectful of all religions. Now, no NXT superstars will have to worry about Wuertz officiating their matches and risking another outbreak, and though he's been contacting a lot of promotions since his release, don't expect to see him in an NXT ring again. SmackDown news next, and after over half a year away, Aleister Black has returned to the ring. Even whilst away, the former NXT champion was drafted to the Blue brand but wasn't given any TV time, and the timing and placement of his return was very interesting. Black's return came during the SmackDown main event, where Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews put his title on the line against Sami Zayn, Big E, and Kevin Owens in an explosive contest worthy of the main event spot. Black, whose impending return had been teased on SmackDown for a month now, finally made his way to the ring and took out Big E, and though we're thrilled to see him, we're wondering, why Big E? Big E doesn't hold a title right now, nor does he have any history with Black, so we're questioning what Black's beef is with a former New Day star. According to reports, WWE's current plan is to push Black now that he's back by pitting him against a fan favorite and former Intercontinental Champion, culminating in a dominant victory for the Dutchman at Hell in a Cell. This would mark Black's first pay-per-view match in a year, his last being Money in the Bank 2020, and if successful, his first win on pay-per-view since WrestleMania 36 last April. WWE's plan is to establish Black as one of SmackDown's top heels, with a feud with Kevin Owens planned after he's dispatched of Big E, and win or lose, this feud would allow the prize fighters some much-needed TV time. Good news for John Cena fans, as the 16-time world champion hasn't been seen since WrestleMania 36, but is all set to make a WWE return soon. Cena was busy filming the Peacemaker spin-off for HBO Max in Canada during WrestleMania season. He could not make it to WrestleMania due to Canada's strict COVID-19 protocol. He admitted it was impossible for him to make the show. According to Dave Meltzer, Cena's name is being heavily discussed for a return. The current idea is for him to be on the July 16th SmackDown when fans come back. Regarding talk of John Cena being on the first WWE show back with fans on 7/16, I was told this is still being discussed. The July 16th SmackDown is the go-home episode before Money in the Bank. It was not noted if there is any plan for Cena to get involved in the pay-per-view. This could just be a one-off appearance. John Cena very well might welcome fans back to WWE events. That would be a fitting way to kick off this new chapter in WWE history. Cena stayed busy during the pandemic with one project after another. He might return home to say hello on July 16th, but it's not likely that he will be back full-time. Impact Wrestling news next, and we know that Moose will be soon challenging for the Impact World Championship at June 12th against All Odds pay-per-view, but the powerhouse may not be with the company for much longer. Recently, speculation has run rampant on Moose's career, as he recently tweeted that his Impact contract expires in June, and in a more recent tweet, said he loves seeing fans argue about his next move and capitalized the letters NXT. Moose has never competed in WWE before, nor has he competed in AEW, but the former NFL star did say that there's a huge chance of him invading AEW, presumably at next Sunday's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. At that show, AEW World Champion Kenny Omega will defend his title against Pac and Orange Cassidy ahead of the June 12th Impact World title defense against Moose, and time will tell where Moose will appear both before and after his title opportunity next month. Last month, WWE released Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, who now work under their new names Jessica Kay and Cassie Lee, respectively. This week, the iconic duo debuted their new Off Her Chops podcast, where Lee discussed their time in WWE and the anxiety attacks she faced while on the road. She said, "I used to get physically ill inside of airports. One time we had to pull the car over on the highway. I really thought I was going to throw up, and I feel like it just got worse every week. I just knew every time I got on a plane that I wouldn't be back for 5 days. Then when I got home, I would only have 2 nights, and in that time, I would have to do all my washing, rearrange my bag, run my errands, and I would maybe have half a day to myself to spend with my then-fiancé Sean Spears and my dogs, and it really took its toll on my mental health personally. Cassie Lee added that she has no problem traveling for leisure, but things were obviously much more stressful when she was traveling for work. And while WWE may have split her and Jessica K up in 2020 for no reason, fans can expect a lot more of the Iconics together on their new podcast. And we're ending today with WrestleMania Backlash, which saw zombies surround the ring for a lumberjack match, a tie-in with Netflix's Army of the Dead. The new film, which also stars Batista, was released this week, and whilst fans didn't enjoy the zombie invasion at last Sunday's pay-per-view, the WWE had some pretty good reasons for allowing it to happen. Ringside News has learned that WWE President Nick Khan spearheaded the sponsorship deal from Zack Snyder's new film, which saw WWE receive a seven-figure deal from Warner Bros. Fans and wrestlers alike have been critical of the zombie involvement, with many describing it as a cheap plug for Batista's new film, but it's clear that there's nothing cheap about this plug that set Warner Bros. Back at least $1 million. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.